Now, let's head to Tel Aviv. It is late over there. To Bloomberg News Israel Bureau Chief Ethan Bronner, who joins us. Ethan, curious, there's been tensions right between these two countries for a long time, but why is this happening now?
Carol, I mean, this is something that Netanyahu has been wanting to do for a long time. And in the last year, as a result of the Hamas attack on Israel, Israel shifted its defense doctrine and also was able to take out Hezbollah, which was a major missile threat from the north, and also a proxy of Iran, and also to strip a lot of Iran's air defense systems in an attack in October. So he felt that this was a time, and also with Trump in the White House, that he could get it done. He said in a speech this evening that he planned it as of last November. I note that would be after Trump was elected. This is when they thought they could get it done.
I got to say, and I actually did a Twitter poll on this, or X poll, whatever you want to call it. And I was just curious in terms of whether or not how many people saw the move by Israel, basically Israel being a proxy for the United States here. How do we roll the U.S. into it? They knew about this attack, but I'm just curious how much the U.S. wanted this attack to maybe help move their goals with Iran here when it comes to nuclear. And
I think it's a great question, and I think we don't know the answer. I mean, also, what is the United States? Is it Donald Trump? You know, it's a little unclear. I think that Trump thought and hoped he could get a deal through negotiation, but if not, he would be happy and willing, happy might be the wrong word, willing to see Israel do this. He didn't take part himself, as far as we know. The United States didn't. So, look, I think it's more of an existential concern for Israel, but I do think that the Trump administration believes and agrees that a nuclear weapon in the hands of Iran is a danger to it and to the West as well.
Hey, Ethan, we have some breaking news to report. The IDF has identified missiles launched from Iran toward Israel.
Yes.
Systems are operating to intercept the threat. The public has been instructed to enter protected space and stay there.
Correct.
ABC cites an Israel Defense Israel Defense Forces official. This is familiar territory for you, but just walk us through, in a situation such as this, what you do and what the expectations are for retaliation.
Right. So all day, it's almost 24 hours. It's not quite 20 hours or so. We've been expecting ballistic missiles to come to Israel. In the first hours, we were told to stay in or near bomb shelters. After they didn't come in the late morning, they said, you know what, you don't have to. And then they reissued that a warning an hour or two ago, and they've just repeated it. We get our phones blast out a warning. I happen to be sitting in my secure room that happens to be my study. So Bloomberg and I are safe. But people who don't have one in their own apartment, they have to go to the basement of their building. They have to go if they're not too many people are out in the street because of what's going on. This is a very well-protected country from the point of view of bomb shelters. So people head to them and head near them until they're told to get out.
Ethan, is this the type of attack that incoming, at least the expectations around it, that the Iron Dome can handle?
Yes, and actually ballistic missiles are handled by the Arrow, not by the Iron Dome. But yes, Israel's
explain the distinction there.
The Iron Dome is more for short-range rockets. The Arrow is for supersonic and high and actually space warfare. And so they get them way out of Israel's boundaries at sea and over the neighboring countries. So that's what they're going after them now. The last time it happened, a few did get through, and they're almost certainly going to shoot more than they shot last time, and more than a few are expected to get through, and it won't be pretty.
Hey, one more headline, just continuing to get information on this. Now the IDF says it identified missiles launched from Iran to Israel, Ethan.
Right. So in other words, they're getting them. That makes sense. I mean, they get most of them. That makes sense. Yes. But we'll see. It's about they're on their way. These missiles don't take more than about 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's like
unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable, right? How this is all happening, and how warfare is today. Hey, what's the public perception in Israel today of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu? Is it possibly seen, dare I say, as another move for him to hold on to power?
No, it is not viewed that way at all. I mean, by maybe a certain tiny percentage of people who truly, truly despise him, yes. But fundamentally, this is an issue that's been underway for decades and certainly years. So, in fact, it's the idea was that this is a moment that you can act, and this is not a moment to get rid of the prime minister. I would say the vast majority of people believe that he's done the right thing. We won't know till we see some polling, but that's my instinct. And of course, we also don't know until if there are ballistic missiles that come and hit and people are killed, then that, of course, can affect things. But as of today, it looked like a very, very sophisticated and successful operation. And people, I think, were proud of this country.
Hey, one thing I want to go back in terms of the U.S. involvement. We did have a story cross earlier, Ethan, about apparently President Trump said to Axios, Israel's attack could help me make a deal with Iran. Is this all about nuclear negotiations with Iran by the United States? Is that what this is all ultimately about?
No, it's not all about that. I think that there are two parallel tracks. One is, might it be possible to make a deal? That's the question. And the United States and Israel have said, look, if Iran is willing to abandon its program and abandon enrichment, great. But we doubt it. And so we're building up this plan. So, it's kind of like that. It would be great if they agreed, but they probably won't. And so this is what's going to happen. And that's what is happening right now.